Ragnarok. In Old Norse mythology, it's the great battle that will result in the resurfacing of the new world. But if you play Ark Survival Evolved, it's the map that has an abundance of resources, nothing but high-level dinosaurs, and a pretty awesome final battle that awaits any survivors strong enough to enter the Ragnarok Arena. My goal is to survive 100 days and prove myself worthy to enter the arena. Let's get started. Day 1, I awoke on the beach and some funny guy implanted me with something which was not appreciated. Disregarding this, I started gathering any resources I could find in my immediate vicinity. Now, picking up all this junk makes me heavy, so I pumped up my weight first so I can carry more junk. I then learned how to make myself a campfire, hatchet, spear, and some basic cloth garments as I am a fledgling human. As we all agree, any advancing human knows the only way to get wood and thatch from a tree is by punching it. Mere moments later, I'm fully clothed and have a pickaxe in hand, so who's going to argue with me? Logic! But everyone knows that a home, a place to call your own, is the next step. That direction looks good. Before heading there, I had to prove to the wildlife that I was a cut above the rest and slaughtered some dodos for their hides, which are needed for making bolas. A bola is used like this: trap creature, stab creature, and collect reward. And my journey to a new home has begun. Introducing a large flat surface space with plenty of resources nearby, and a water source because in Ark, you can drink seawater. After dealing with the unwanted visitors, the foundations of my temporary future home were slapped down. Look at this masterpiece coming together. But what is a home without storage and a place to cook and keep warm? Beautiful, mate. Day 2 followed with the completion of the small house and placing down some beds so that I have a place to rest my noggin. I then found some boxes washed up close by that had some really useful tools in them. I also found some crystal nearby and I would use that to make myself a spyglass, which I used to spy on the local wildlife. Afterwards, I went for a little bit of an exploring session as well as killing Kermit along the way. I then spied a level 50 pteranodon. As I patiently waited for her to land, I spotted a filthy rat. Bear this in mind, it becomes important shortly. I bowled the pteranodon and knocked her out whilst nearly killing her. Oh my god. Now these reptiles eat meat. Then enters this guy who's apparently stuck and will be my source of meat. I try to knock him out. He takes my meat. It will be my meat. Get back. He stole my meat. He nearly escapes? Are you fucking serious? Wait, did he just... I'm getting my meat back. I retrieve my meat. I finish the job. Afterwards, I try to make my way back up the hill and then get hunted by birds myself. I'm being hunted by birds. Oh god. Okay. Run. I finally get back and start the taming process by putting my hard-earned meat into her inventory. As I waited, I saw that I can't even learn the saddle yet, which is sad days. But I was able to upgrade to high gear and I felt very snazzy indeed. She tamed up and I called her Piano. I walked her home and decided to make some narcotics for future taming. To do that, I'll need a lot of spoiled meat and some narco berries. That night, I built myself a trap for whatever I find next. Before taming something else, it was day 3 and I needed to kill some turtles for the keratin, which I promptly did and felt very guilty for. But a pteranodon saddle made me feel very happy in the end. Shortly after, I found an easy moss chops tame for a single medjo berry, and now I got myself a gatherer. When I got home, I straddled my piano and took first flight. During the night, I gathered many resources and made a lot of narcotics. Day 4 was a continuation of the previous night, gathering a lot of resources for future building plans. I also found some really good metal rocks nearby which I will harvest regularly. I then placed down some refinery forges to get that metal smelted. I then placed down a smithy as it was the next logical step and I made myself some metal tools. On day 5, after collecting too many resources, I decided to take flight and found a level 50 trike on the beach close by. I quickly picked up the trap back at base, and before heading out, I had a go at reading some animal names. Hold still. Ichthyornis. Ichthyornis. Flying cunt. Day 6. As the sun rose in the east, I laid down my trap, and it's now time to catch a trike like a mouse in a cage. These are the steps. I ask it nicely to follow me. I run for the trap. I wait. Hook, line, and sinker. Continue to shoot for the head with trank arrows and wait for the morning nap to overcome it. While I waited, I made a trike saddle, and when he woke up, I named him Torstein. As I walked him home, I came across a murder scene. I feel like I should say something for him. That night, Torstein helped me get many more resources, as I was planning on starting the foundations of my main base. Day 7 began with the crafting of many stone foundations for the future base. I also made a bunch of thatch foundations, as they're cheaper and will be used just to get the layout right. Moss Chops number 1 thinks that's a crappy idea, apparently. He's a Chops, for God's sake, I don't need his opinion. I then took to the skies to get a better view of the future base area. I started to place the foundations down, trying to make the most of the flat terrain. Okay, one down, many more to go, and I spent the rest of day 7 placing down foundations. Morning of day 8, I had finished the layout and I wanted to take a break from building. I wanted to tame a big bird, so I grabbed a birdcage and headed out. There was a bird close by. I set up my trap and I made sure to arm it. I insulted it to get its attention. Hook, line, and sinker, and I shoot it with tranks until it takes a little nap. Gute Nacht. She woke up quickly, and I named her Le Carré because she will carry all my burdens. I needed a saddle for her, and I was going to need chitin. As I headed out for some, I saw a turtle in a little bit of a pickle. I was going to help him by ending him, but realized he was level 145 and he would slaughter me. Nope, see ya. Later, I bullied some scorpions for their chitin and sauntered on home. At home, I made the Archie saddle, retired piano on the roof, and took Le Carré out for a spin. Archies are definitely better birds. Morning of day 9, as I was leveling Le Carré, I spotted a 145 bird, which was really exciting. As she was clearly within my sight, I made another trap and I was going to repeat the previous strategy. But when I went back to her location, not 3.5 seconds later, she vanished. I took flight to widen my peripheral view, but nope, she was gone. Repulsive. Not to mention this terrifying looking thing. Yeah, the bird's gone. I decided to leave in disgust. However, I did see a little Doedicurus, and I thought to myself, can I pick this up? Can I pick you up? I can pick you up. With this revelation, I thought of something. I brought it home, built a trap, and dropped it in, and continued to bully it. He submitted. He's out. Oh, he's mine. He is gonna be mine. I started the taming process. I thought a little more, and then I abducted a high-level Ankylosaurus. Oh, you're mine. I noticed my Doedicurus was done when I arrived on the scene. 1-for-1 swap. Introducing Ranger. Round 2. Oh, for fuck's sake. Almost. Several minutes later, he's down as well. Now, apparently I stare at things when they're sleeping. So instead, I took Ranger out for a spin. I carry, and he collects stone for me. Oh, yeah. Day 10, I was gathering a lot more resources while waiting for the Anki to tame, and I started to make a lot of building materials and started to place them down. While I was changing my stone blocks, I noticed that he finished taming. I saddled him up and immediately took him for a crystal run in the mountains. These would come in handy soon. On the way home, I saw a blue drop that had some goodies in it. At home, I did a metal run as these guys are amazing for it. By the way, I named him Anklet. Anklet. Day 11 was purely spent on gathering resources and crafting building materials I'll need for the impending base construction. It was the early hours of day 12, and this is what I had so far. Quite a bit. As the sun rose, I spotted a 130 female bird. That's a mighty fine looking bird. I did a little flying dance to get her attention, apparently attracting another one as well. I lead them to that previous useless trap. I mislead the unwanted bird, went back for the desired bird, and... Oi, mate. Welcome to your new life. Being productive, I created wooden railings while I waited. Once she tamed up, I called her Cloud, my new attacking bird. We're going to call this one Cloud. Hey, hey, you, get off of my Cloud. Now, knowing that this trap back at home worked, I decided to do something. I flew across the map to Beaver Haven. Speaking of which, there's a nice 140 right there. Wait, there's a 150. Ooh, there we go, that's the one we want. Yoink! Got you. Oh, that's amazing. On the morning of day 13, I arrived home with my kidnapped spoils. I tried not to aggravate her, but honestly, look at those mean eyes. She finally dropped, and while she was taming, I gathered more resources. Too many resources, because I got heavy, and something was waiting to take advantage of that fact. What's that? You little... You... Oh... Carry, get it. I hunted the rat down and took back what was mine. She tamed up and I called her Beavis. Day 14, I made my way back to Beavis' home because I needed cementing paste. Luckily, beaver dams are good for that. It does make them angry though. Wow. My god, that's a lot of beavers. I'll just lead them away. I get more cementing paste, but apparently the beavers are everywhere. Look, I wanted to do this peacefully, but I did need pelt at some point. Now this next part I should have seen coming. Are you serious right now, gang? After plundering a bit more, I left for home. I saddled beavers and spent the rest of day 14 making building materials and gathering resources for said materials. Also getting stuck. Are you serious right now? In the middle of day 15, I had all the building materials I needed for my base, and I was going to tackle this next. This is a before picture. You know one thing I've always kind of disliked in Ark? It's the building process. Sometimes, often, Ark's building mechanics can really rustle your jimmies. I like resource gathering, but for the most part, I didn't like building. But I wanted an awesome looking base, so I went on YouTube and looked at some base builds. I came across this one here from a channel by Aaron Longstaff, and I thought it looked pretty sick. I went ahead and asked Aaron if I could give him a shout out, and he was all for it, which is really appreciated. Aaron mate, thank you very much. I hope I do your base build justice, and I hope you're enjoying the video. Speaking of which, is the base done? Look at that, it looks beautiful, mate. The entire process took me about 4 days to complete, and I've really enjoyed following this building guide. If you wanted to build the same base, I'll have a link in the description to Aaron's video. Also, this was my favorite part. Oh, that's the funniest thing. I'm enjoying that way too much. So, in the early hours of day 19, I moved all my creatures to the new enclosure, and saw what Piano had been up to since I abandoned her. What's this? You gave me an egg. Piano, did you I moved everything into the new house, all utility stuff as well. I made a fabricator, new storage, smithy, and mortar and pestles. So this is my new workshop and I'm keen to get into it. One thing I disliked was that I kept having this bush regrow on my base. Fuck off, bush. But before getting busy, of course, I slapped down a new bed and took a quick nap. Oh yeah. Day 20, I discovered that lots of metal makes me laugh. What didn't make me laugh was I realized we needed oil for an industrial grill. Apparently I had some from killing tech creatures, so I made some gasoline so I could turn on the fabricator and decided I'd have to make all my electrical appliances sooner rather than later. I would need a lot of oil to run these machines, so I needed to go to the cold zone. I get up and made myself ready. On the way, I killed a tech stego as tech creatures drop valuable resources. When we got to the mountains, it started snowing, and even with my fur gear, I was freezing, which wasn't good. I got a little bit of oil, but I had to get out of there. On the way home, I kidnapped a fatty boomba. These guys are amazing, and you'll soon see why.
See ya, guys.
Day 21, I proved that I'm a mean human. Look, I needed to tame her. I then went back to the cave when it wasn't snowing and was able to get much needed oil. I killed some penguins outside for their organic polymer, which was also a necessity. I took a fair bit of each home with me. Now I have what I need for these appliances and connections, and I made everything that I would need. The grill is down. Couple of fridges, a generator under the stairs, some cables that run through the house, an outlet, and some gasoline in the generator, and voila! We have power. In the wee hours of day 22, I was inspecting the land outside my house for future farm construction and saw something off-putting. Well, that's interesting. Ignoring that, I flew after that distant purple beam. I was disappointed. I got arced. As it takes forever to fly anywhere on this map, I decided to go to the beavers again, which was close by, cause why not? Glad I made that choice, cause that beam was useless to me. At home, I started to make some crop plots as it was time to start farming. I got all the seeds I would need with Torstein, and morning of day 23, I started a farming plot, and this is what it looked like after I finished. Of course, you need some water pipes to allow the flow of water for this to actually work. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Also, I noticed a rock in my house. Are you actually serious right now? It was serious. Do you remember this fatty boomba? Do you know what happens if you feed them stimberries? Yep, they crap themselves. A very good way to get a type of fertilizer, but there is one more step before I can turn this shiza into proper fertilizer. I started a trip to the other side of the map. Again, one thing to remember, Ragnarok is huge and it takes ages to get places. But I saw this along the way. Very nice, I'll keep that in mind. We finally made it to the volcanic area and I started to look for some dung beetles. Do you know what they like? Shiza! This one too. So, I'm carrying one, and Cloud is carrying one. This is a nice haul. I got home and these guys made themselves comfortable. I filled them up with their favorite treats and I named Fatty, I'm named Beetle, and Juice. Beetlejuice. I like it. Just as day 24 started, I got this yellow drop and I was pretty elated. At home, I started to make some ghillie gear because I wanted to look cool. I also destroyed my old base this day. Nothing lasts forever. I gathered some more metal this day, and while I was collecting, Beetlejuice did their thing and made me fertilizer and oil. Beauty, mate! Also, the reason for so much metal is the following things I need to build. Industrial appliances, chemistry set, and vaults to increase my storage. I've been doing lots of metal gathering in between everything else for this reason. I needed a lot of resources. Polymer is one of them. I went back to the volcanic area looking for these praying mantises. They drop lots of organic polymer, which is used in the same way. So it's a great replacement. I think I have enough for now. So I made the industrial forge, industrial cooker, and the chemistry set. Very nice. What's also nice are these vaults, which I can make one of. 350 stacks of items can fit in these. Morning of day 26, I placed down the forge. Very snazzy indeed. I put all my metal in there and let it do its thing. I then refurnished a bit and it looks good. I also placed down the chemistry bench and another vault, so that was a very quick upgrade. Nice. I had so much organic polymer left and this stuff expires, so I had to spend it on something. I will spend it on these cryo items shortly. Day 27, I started to make lots of narcotics for future taming. To make the taming process simpler, I would need those before mentioned cryopods and cryofridges. I looked at the resources, got them, and flew to the obelisk as that's where you make them. I made as many as I could at this point and a fridge as well. I placed down the fridge and filled it with cryoed animals. I then added seeds and fertilizer to my farm plot. It's like Stardew Valley all over again. It was getting time to think about the boss fight, so I headed back to the obelisk and saw that on Ragnarok I needed 10 artifacts. I've only ever done the spider and the ape on the island map, so bosses are a new thing to me. But that's the goal for this video, beat the boss. Probably on Gamma as I don't know what to expect. Next morning I found a giant tree in my base, god damn it. Next, I made a lot of trank darts because it's time to start taming the creatures we would need for the arena. A quick trap was built, and this is the thing I'm looking for, a Therizinosaurus. Before that, I went out and found the artifact of the brute, which is right down here behind these rocks. That's 1 down and 9 more to go. Here begins the taming process. We have ourselves a level 15 male Therizinosaurus. It was going well until... Oh, for God's sake, man. Of course you're in the fucking water. Well, you're a lost cause now. Well, turns out I was wrong. It swam back out. I resume. Oh, for fuck's sake. And we have knocked it out. I stayed with him during the entire night. Morning of day 29, he tamed up and I called him Jazz Hands. This is why I called him Jazz Hands. Oh, look at him. That's why you call him Jazz Hands. Later still that morning, while looking for more theories, I found a breathtaking location. Just above that, I saw a level 85 female, which is exactly what I'm looking for. A little further in that, and I found another 95 female. So, learning from my mistake, I built a trap this time. As I was building the trap, this one jumped in voluntarily. That's 1 down. I fetched the other one. I'm on my way. From misery to happiness to my cage. Hook, line, and sinker. I started to trank them both. Many hours later, I finally got them both down. Finally, goodness gracious me. Next day, while I waited for them to tame, I saw this drop and it had this. Very nice. That one tamed up and I called her Sasha. The other one I called Sarah to keep up with continuity. On the way home, I saw something interesting. It looked like a cave, so this might be where an artifact is. I did a little investigating and this place is pretty ominous. I saw a loot crate I couldn't get, but this rustled my jimmies even more. That makes me very sad. Okay. Are you actually serious right now, Ark? After a moment, I was free and decided I'd have to come back to this place again. At home, we have our 3 birds, and I would wait for their eggs to help me make taming kibble to get more of them. Day 31, I quickly made some wall torches because I wanted to see what the house would look like with some cozy lighting in the future. Afterwards, I made that better rifle for more effective taming. I prepared myself for exactly that, and this is the area I'll be searching in. A short while later, I found my first victim. Day 32, I was waiting for her to tame, and these guys take a bloody long time without kibble. She finally tamed up and I called her Simone. I put her in a Pokeball and continued on. Day 33, I flew around looking for more females but only found males. During a windstorm later, I finally found another 55 female. Winner mate. A trap was laid down, but this one seemed to be more chill than the others. I had to shoot her to aggro her. We all know how this goes. As she was taming during the early hours of day 34, I quickly headed home to see if any of the other ones have laid eggs, but they haven't. If I had eggs, I could tame these guys much quicker. Anyways, she tamed up and I called her Sonia. As I got home, I saw that I still had no eggs. This was a worry. In a moment of genius, I released Sonia from her Pokeball and she did her business. Usually when a creature craps itself, it has a chance to be a poo or an egg. When you're playing Ark, that is. So, I had an idea. I put all the females in their Pokeballs, I released one and apparently lost frame rate, but I got an egg as well. So this is how I cheated a bit. I put them away and released them until I had enough eggs to tame the next max level female or male. I did this for a fair while, and for every max level, I would require about 7 eggs or so. The next day, I flew in a direction where the coordinates will be 35.1 and 78.1 because that's where I will find an artifact, quite a distance away, and I still have plenty of these to find. I found this river in a cave system and explored further in. Eventually, I came across the artifact of the brute, so I'm finally making some progress. On the way home, I saw some gruesome nature being nature. Yeah, nature is scary. I also found a ringed red drop and I had to get it in the nick of time. I also picked up an extra dung beetle, cause why not? Remember that 150 shark I saw before? Well, here she is again. I dropped the dung beetle on land to scope out the shark, but I saw the beetle try to get away. There's only one thing I could do.
No, you fucking don't. Here we go.
Hey, buddy.
This is what you want? Do you want some poops? Come here, buddy. You want some poops? You're mine. Mine!
In the early hours of day 36, I quickly went home to get the equipment I needed to tame that shark. I learned to make scuba gear because we were most definitely going to be getting in the water with a prehistoric killing machine. It'll be fine. I don't need no flippers. I can outswim a shark. Let's gear up. Ugh. Looks don't matter. I spent a fair while trying to trank her. I finally downed her and I went in for an inspection. Wow. That is... Oh my god. He's on 50 now. Holy shit. While waiting for her to tame, I collected silica pills because apparently I needed them for flippers. I also had a little bit of a nostalgia trip. Straight sharks. When she tamed up, I called her Brucilla. When I got home, I cheated just a little bit more. Afterwards, I placed down the industrial cooker because I needed to start making kibble with all these honest gains. The next day, I saddled up Brucilla and took her for a little leveling session. Leveling hurts, but I need her to get the next artifact, which is really deep in the ocean. Day 38, I flew in the direction which I will find said artifact really deep in the ocean. I flew forever and got to the edge of the swamplands, and this is where I need to hop on Brucilla, just as I was ready to head out, and I had to get rid of it. So I did the logical thing and tried to burn it off me. I tried to jump into the fire, but of course that didn't work. After a while, I realized that Cloud had the leech, not me. Okay, now we can go to the ocean. And now we go deeper. Just so you know, I have a genuine fear of the ocean and what's in it. For good reason.
I'm terrified of those things.
I made the right choice and I fled like a coward. I spent 30 minutes in-game time coming here just to be scared away, but I needed a bigger ocean creature. As if running away with my shame wasn't bad enough.
Sure.
Oh god, oh my god, that's a fucking alpha. Oh my god, I have no stamina. I am so fucked. So day 38 was a complete failure. I needed a bigger ocean creature, a whale to be specific. But to get a whale, I need another creature. This thing, a baryonyx. Level 90? Nah, we need something stronger, because I will also be using this creature in the caves as well in the future. They live in the swamplands, so I turned around and headed back there. Ooh, the swamp is scary. This sight elated me, however. I made my trap for this girl. I got her attention and led her to her future. She fell right for my trap, and I had some unexpected company. I tried to deal with it how I normally would, but... Whew. Okay. After which I started the taming process, and we know how this ends. While I was waiting, I saw something out of the ordinary.
The hell are these things?
When she tamed up, I called her Beatrix. On the way home, I saw the next thing that Beatrix will help me tame. Day 40, I started making the kibble for all the high-level Therizzinosauruses with the eggs I've been collecting. But before that, I wanted to level Beatrix a bit because finding a max level whale would be really nice. Plus, I needed to level her for the cave runs. These guys are great because they have a stun attack in the water to deal with all these stingrays. Also, killing whales I don't want yields a lot of oil, which is really nice. It was well into day 41 when I stopped leveling the old girl. With nearly 10,000 HP, I think she'll do just fine in the caves. While I was somewhat close, I decided to visit the swamps again, and on this occasion, find leeches on purpose because I needed their blood for the cave runs. Finding leeches though are a pain. Here's one, and there's a few over there as well. I needed to make sure to have their blood for the antidotes against cave rabies. As I flew home, I saw a 145 male Therizinosaur, and that is something I wanted. So I headed home and got the things together to make this a thing. While there, I made some antidotes for later. The next day, I flew back to where that 145 bird was. Look at that, a 85 female close by as well. It's a 2-for-1 deal. So I placed down the trap, as is tradition. That's one of them. Oh, he's so mad at me. Look, I do what I have to do. A little bit later, I led the female into a familiar situation. So for the 145, I used kibble to make it a perfect tame. The female just a regular tame. Speaking of which, she tamed up and I called her Jasmine. And the alpha male I called T-Bone because he will be doing plenty of the latter. Morning of day 43, I was scouting and I saw two turtles who were really reconsidering their life choices right now. Also today, I started making things I would need for the impending cave run. Medical brews for health, grappling hooks for doing fancy stuff, stimulants in case something tried to knock me out, plenty of antidotes, some proper metal armor for protection, some ammo for offense. You get the idea. You need to be well prepared. I tested out the hooks as I had completely forgotten how to use them. This is my hotbar and my inventory just prior to this adventure. So it was the early hours of day 44. It was time to locate the jungle dungeon. Hey, this place looks familiar. I've been here before. Before I got too far, I find a really nice yellow drop.
Oh my god, it's amazing. It's an ascendant fur cap. It's amazing. It's mine.
That is a good start. Let's move through and here's a compilation of my journey in this cave. Okay. Oh. Okay, let's just zoom out a little bit. Ooh, now that is good. Oh, oh my god. Oh my god. Give me this artifact. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Tricks, we're getting the fuck out of here. Flee! It was day 45 when I successfully came out of the cave with the artifact of the hunter in my possession. That makes 3 artifacts now. I needed to wind down a little bit, so I gathered some resources. I am such a pig. Day 46, I took Beatrix out in search of a giant whale. Again, the ocean terrifies me, here and in real life. There's a level 15, but I need 10 times that. Seeing an alpha shark, I had to flee the ocean and take to the skies. From up here, I saw my prize. I got rid of anything else in the area. Once the coast was clear, I fed it some kibble that I've been making. Now, I had to keep following her until she got hungry again. After fending off some sharks, I lost her. After nearly losing my mind, I finally spotted her again. She finally tamed up, which was a huge relief for me. Morning of day 47, I saddled her and thought about a name for the big girl. I decided to call her Bessie, and her stats are amazing. I took her out for a spin, and apparently she's super strong. Also very dopey looking. As dopey as my hiccup. Later that day, I was on my way back to that ward artifact because this time, no squid is going to scare me. As expected, there's a giant squid. And another.
My god,
and another.
But these guys
And
down
then...
oh god. Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's an Alpha Tuso. I need to swim up. I need to swim up. Oh my god. Oh, good lord. Oh my god. Up, up. Oh my. That was terrifying. Not as terrifying as knowing that the artifact is behind it. So I decided to engage one at a time. I got inked, but I got the kill. But in this shot, there are 5 separate squids, not including the alpha. How am I supposed to get the artifact? Apparently, one by one. The alpha ambushed me during this time, and I saw what it could do to my health, which was not good.
We need to go up.
It was well into day 48 when I tried my new strategy, leading it away. Once I lost it, I took the long way back. After a long time, I found my way to the artifact. This was the worst water adventure ever. The next day, I found a level 130 female Therizinosaur, which is awesome. So I led her into a pre-made trap, and you know the rest. Just down below, I saw a 130 male, so why not two? With this new gun using tracks, these guys drop really quickly. The male tamed, and I called him Blake. And I called her Thera before heading home. Now at this point, I was thinking about the Ice Queen Cavern, and I would need a little bit of extra muscle to beat her. So I decided on RGs. My trap is set, bird is angry, and mistakes were made for the bird. Even more mistakes were made because when I came back to this bird, now I have to find another one. Luckily for me, just above my trap, I saw a 130 male and a 145 female, which was fantastic. Okay, that's one. As I went back for the other one, I saw a 140 female Therizinosaur, which I really wanted. So one of the RGs tamed up. I then trapped the other one. Then while the other one was taming, I built a trap for that 140 bird up the hill. Traps are so useful. You know what was really nice? This one had really high health, which was fantastic, even before it tamed out. Now as I went back to check on the RG, there was another 140 and 150 right there by that trap. This is most definitely my night for taming. Before long, that's an extra RG added to my army. Morning of day 51, the Therizinosaur tamed up and I called her Greta, and she had 8,000 health, which was fantastic. Before heading home, I grabbed this other 140 RG, and also made an extra trap for this 150 RG, 2 for 1 deal. This was a fantastic day for taming. I called all these birds Thaven, Snow, Thunder, and Crimson. Day 52 started with a leveling session with these new birds. I spied with my little eye an Alpha Rex. Of course you know what happens next. Absolute annihilation, with some minor injuries. And sadly though, only Crimson got the major boost for the Alpha kill. Still, the birds leveled enough. Day 53 involved luring, pissing off the native wildlife, taunting them, tranking them, and not naming them, apparently. Later that night, I found my birds with the best stats. Greta had the best health. Barracuda had the best attack and stamina, so these are my 2 birds chosen to start the army for the boss fight. So I'm gonna have to start breeding them soon. To help with breeding, I thought the animals had to be moving around, so I built them a little pen so they can't move too far away from each other. This will prove to be a problem and also pointless. First attempt, and they kept moving too far away from each other. I made the shagging nest smaller. Second attempt, and it was still too big. They need to feel closer. Now to breed these birds, I apparently have to completely restrict their movement. A little time later, and I had my first fertilized egg. Apparently they can mate again in almost 1.5 hours. None of that, we are going to boost that speed stat in the game. 2 minutes? Now that is acceptable for the purposes of this 100-day challenge. On day 55, I was seeing if I could hatch some eggs. It was too cold, however. What I need to have is a room with air cons to make perfect hatching conditions. I think this middle room in the house would be perfect as an aircon room. So I placed some down, and success, it makes it hatchable in here. But not yet. A feeding trough first for any new birdies because they will be hungry. I tossed down these 4 eggs I have. I put food into their inventories, but I would later find out that with my rates, I didn't even have to bother. Now from these babies, I wanted them to have their parents' stats, and this one did have it. In fact, these 2 have desired stats that I want to pass on. They just need to grow up. The next day, I had another leveling run with the birds for the Ice Queen Cave. And that's it. Morning of day 57, I made it the next 2 birds to see if I can continue the stats. There's the next egg, and we know how it goes from here. Day 58 started with creating some extra cryopods because I'm going to need a lot more of these shortly. Later that day, I geared myself up with some fur gear because we are heading to the Ice Queen Cave. I got the birds and Beatrix together and we headed off. I arrived and descended into what was negative 11 degrees. The cave was huge and foreboding. Day 59 and negative 25 degrees. It's cold in here. Thank God for that good fur gear. I just released Beatrix again when I got ambushed. Very lucky. These giant worms were really hurting Beatrix, so I had to switch it back up. RGs regain health from dead corpses, so Cloud will last longer in here. Also, an amazing saddle was found for Beatrix, so that's going to be very helpful shortly. But deeper into the cave I went. I got to this giant drop and fell into the boss's lair. The boss sensed me and was coming. I had to release all the birds. I was having some trouble releasing them in here, and you can see the thing is coming right for me. I was getting frustrated and scared because any second now that thing will jump me. And then this happened. Are you fucking kidding me, game? Luckily, the problem was fixed and we engaged the boss. And with that, we vanquished her. I picked up any loot crates in the area and found the artifact in the back of the room. This was well earned, and I found my way out and I flew home. Day 60, I spent some more time breeding birds. This is why I make more cryopods. I have so many birds right now and it's going to get worse. The next day I was thinking about the future and I started massing gunpowder for a future artifact hunt in the labyrinth. Also breeding. Lots and lots of breeding and a helpful stat mutation. It's on this day I realized something. I can't keep up with the cryopod creation with the amount of birds I'm hatching. So I did a thing. This is the worst thing I've ever done in my life. Yeah, not proud, but that's Ark. In the morning of day 62, I started to travel towards the next artifact location. It's within this cave, and there are 2 of them so far as I'm aware. I started prancing in there with my bird, and would spend the next however long flying through the dark corridors of the Cave of the Devourer. Yes, I did use Gamma for this, don't judge me, so would you. I finally saw a bright light and found my first artifact. The next artifact didn't take too long to find in here. And it's right there. Now I will be honest, it took me a fair while to find my way back out of this cave network. I eventually came across the first artifact again, and from there I tried my best to backtrack. And with that, I was finally able to find my way back out. Before heading home, I stocked up on some more organic polymer. Day 63, I spotted a 135 Rex and I decided I wanted to tame it. A short while later, my trap was set and...
Coming.
Ooh, he's a loud boy. This strategy is absolutely foolproof. A short while later, I checked the stats and they were alright. And then I got arked again.
Alright, cool.
Are you kidding me right now, game? When he tamed up, I called him Maximilius Rexius. The next day, I made a saddle for Rexius, and I took him out for a quick one. Apparently you level quicker when you just destroy trees. I can confirm this. Later, I prepared for a little bit of taming, which I wanted to get done. First was this little guy. I called it Sacrifice. This will make sense later. I also tamed a dodo for the same upcoming reason. Which is also a sacrifice. Day 65, I started making some bear traps because I was going to need them for the next tame. I got Rexius and a bunch of fur gear because where we're going is going to be cold. Day 66 I found the creature I was going to tame, a 145 Tyrannosaurus. The area around was not ideal for a trap, but I had to do what I can do. I can't lure this guy like the others. He has a rarity buff that scares your dino if you get too close, except for a Rex. My bear trap is set, and... what a shot! Into my trap, but apparently it got out. This trap won't work now. I tried standing on my Rex and shooting her that way. Next thing, I'm mounting her and get yeeted across the map.
This is not going very well at all.
This could be bad. I escaped, and she seemed interested in my vacant trap. While she was distracted, I tried a new trap, but it soon got stuck regardless in the other one. Next thing I knew, she dropped. Okay, I killed that intruder while she was taking a little nap, and now I waited. She tamed eventually, and I called her Yanette. On day 67, I went back to the snow area because what I needed next was this creature, a Daeodon, or simply a Piggy Wiggy. Lucky for me, I can pick these up. Now that trap I had for Yanette, this came in handy just now. I love when traps actually work. Of course she tamed out the next day and I called her Schweinehund. By this time, I had bred so many birds. I had one male with 4 females trying to get as many as I could. Because by day 69, I again had to get rid of any extra birds I had. So I kinda made a graveyard a little ways away. You get so many animals when you're trying to breed a perfect army. Ark is Ark. Alright, you all take care of each other now. You're all together in this. It's raining, so you got some water at least. In terms of food, you gotta cater for yourselves. Goodbye. I had to make space because later that day, I did more breeding. I also made some flat gear for that big artifact hunt soon. In day 70, I made myself some night vision goggles for the artifact hunt. But by God, do they look bad. I don't even think I used them. It was time for the adventure, so I gathered some things together. Consumables, weapons, and also those 2 sacrificial animals. Looking at my map, I'm here and I want to be not here. It'll take me all day to fly to the desert and I left just before the next day. After flying forever and only being halfway to my destination, I had a little heart just to the right of it. It's 0 degree. Oh God. Nothing like a little jump scare to keep me awake. I finally made it to the cave entrance and set out on my journey in what is called the Life Labyrinth. Enjoy. Oh, go fuck yourself. Oh, what the hell, man? I have literally been fried to a goddamn... Oh my God. Okay. Oh, bastard. Ooh. I'm sorry, little one. Okay. Bug repellent wears off. No. Yes. The spirits have calmed, they say. The last 2 artifacts. The artifact of and the artifact of... I emerged from the cave on day 72 and was rewarded with a vulture egg, which I swiped immediately before heading home. Day 73, I saw that I had 10 artifacts, but I would soon find out that one of these 10 is not the one I needed. I also noticed that the injuries I got in the cave were still very much in effect. I tried to jump into ice water to cool this apparent volcanic eruption on my back, but no luck, so on we go. For all of day 73, I read up on the artifacts and waited for more breeding eggs. Skylord. I don't have the artifact of the Skylord? Before thinking about that, I needed to relog to change some settings, which will come in handy soon. Apparently that also healed me. Now what I changed was the ability to kill unclaimed dinos with your own dinos. Normally you can't do this, but I needed to check if this worked for the future. Later this day, after looking online, I thought the Skylord artifact was under the ruin in the water here. I was doing this for free because Ark had an update since then, and I would find out soon enough that it was in another part of the Labyrinth Cave. The next day, I went to the obelisk and confirmed I was indeed missing an artifact. I also made a lot of extra cryopods because I had so many birds. Day 75. One of these birds had a melee mutation, making future animals just that little bit stronger. Also this day, I started flying back towards the Labyrinth Cave for round 2. Day 76, I got back to the cave, and let's get to the point where I have to go the other way. This is the room. I need to go through the door on the left. I hit the correct button, get burnt again, and head on through. Now the next bit of text I read was gut-wrenching. Okay. Drowning men will... Oh, for fuck's sake. I don't have my scuba gear. I can't get out. I am going to die.
Oh, would you look at that? Here's one I prepared earlier.
Now, I definitely didn't get lost this time round in the Labyrinth Cave. I didn't get frustrated with the dozens of animals falling from the ceiling or poison grenades. I absolutely did not pass out and have a snake about to deal a fatal blow to me. No, see, I found the last artifact right here. Let's forget this ever happened for content's sake. It was day 77 when I finally got out of the cave. For the rest of day 77 and 78, I just did some bird breeding. I also tried a new euthanizing method. I didn't like this either. Between days 79 and 84 was a session I spent as a final attempt at trying to get any beneficial mutations for my future birds. Once I've decided, I would then have to actually breed an army on those chosen stats. This process takes a while, and if the raids weren't adjusted for the sake of video creation, it would take an ungodly long time. I mean, when you're bored and waiting, you keep yourself entertained somehow. I did go exploring in the ocean and saw something really unsettling. Hi guys! On day 83, I needed to start leveling my animals. There's only one way to do this quickly and in time for the boss fight. Oh my god! Day 84. I think I'll start doing this now with all the animals I'll be taking to the boss fight. There will be 20 of them. By this point, the male is all shagged out. So naturally, the next 6 days were spent just getting eggs until I have enough to level all my chosen birds. To make things more entertaining for me, I decided to spray paint my whole house. This was going to be very busy because to speed it up, I decided to unleash all my chosen females, park them close to males, and have many more eggs to get this level process done quicker. I found out that I could only carry 24 eggs at a time, so 24 eggs was used to level each animal. 24 times 20 is 480 younglings sacrificed. Jesus, Ark. But as a result, I will get every single one of these birds' health to 30,000 and their attack damage to 1200%, even though I realize now that I was leveling this one's weight by accident. Well done, mate. I also found an awesome saddle for Schweinehood, so she's going to be able to survive better in the boss fight as well. I had a little bit of a play around to see if I could get a nice thumbnail. I tested out Yonette and her buff raw, and she is pretty much ready to go. By day 91, I painted my house and maybe it looks better? No idea, it was something to do while I leveled creatures. The next day, our Therizinosaur army was ready to go. They all had saddles, and that wasn't cheap. We have our pig and Yonette, so we have all of our dinos prepared. Next up, I needed to kill some giant squids for a particular item. It's this, absorbent. I needed this so I could make some gas masks because we will need this in the boss fight. Next up, I took all my birds out and learned how to actually control them in a fight, and this was quite fun. Oh, that's brutal. Day 95, I made a little bit of things I would need for the boss fight, like medical brews, a stimulant. I then took the army out for one more spin, and realized that these guys also gather wood when they attack. I need to make sure to deactivate their gathering when the time comes. Speaking of which, the time is upon us. Day 96 was the day that all my hard work had been leading up to. I was going to head to the Ragnarok Arena. I gathered some of the things I would need, including the artifacts. I gathered the army and headed over to the obelisk. I released all my birds and made sure to disable the harvesting option. As I released Janet, she already lifted me in triumph. It was a good omen. Schweinehund came out to play, and I filled her up with food to let her be able to heal the party. It was the last checkup, and I had everything. This entire challenge had led me to this point. I was nervous, I was excited, I had no idea how I would go in there as I have never done this before. Let's begin. This is the arena. Okay, let's do this. Okay, come on. Alright, press U now. Okay, that guy up there. Get him. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Let's back up. Okay, get him. Fuck him up. Oh, he's dropping like a sack of shit. Okay, cool. How's my health doing? Fantastic. Okay, cool. This guy next. Get him. Fucking get him. No, don't give me this now. Back off. Okay, I've got Therizinosaurus things following me. Thank you. Cool. Fantastic. Let's gamma this up so I can't see shit. Thank you. Oh, cool. Okay, I just took a nasty spot. Let's just get a little bit of distance here, see what the fuck is going on. Okay, cool. They're all locking onto him again, which is fantastic. Get him. Fuck him up. Okay, he's shooting at me again. Gotta move. Cool, excellent. They are all thingied. I'm gonna get trapped. I'm trapped. I am so fucked. Get. Okay, cool. Back up. Missed. Okay, watch out. He's gonna hit me again with the thing. Yep, here he comes. Run. You fucking cock. And let's go ahead and do this. Everyone, fuck shit up. Oh, he's coming for me. Okay, yeah, I just got a direct hit there. Move out of the way. Roar for everyone. There you go. Go. Yeah, boys. Fuck him up. Let's roar for everyone. Get out of this guy's face. Yep, we killed a rock elemental. Fantastic. 130. Our theories are doing work. Roar again. Okay, back up. Oh, did you see that dodge? Everyone, get him! Yes, we killed the... Okay, he's close to being dead. Okay. Oh, you're coming for me, aren't you? Well, fuck you. You cock. Everyone, go get him. Oh, I think that's it. That's it! Yes! Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. And there you have it. 97 days of Ragnarok has led to this point, and we did it. We conquered the arena with some spare time to boot. This video has been one of the most intensive projects I have ever made. It took nearly half a year, but for the most part, it was really enjoyable. Yes, I know I cheated there with my second run through the Life Labyrinth maze, but although my goal was to beat the game within 100 days and not die, the other goal was to have fun and to share my fun experience with you and practice my storytelling skills. Therefore, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos of the narrative format because I enjoy storytelling and sharing my experiences. Until next time, cheers, peace out.